Hello, and welcome to Episode 5 of the Bulldog Blast Podcast. This broadcast is written and produced by 7th and 8th graders at Heuvelton Central School. I'm your host, Mrs. Madlin. Today, our podcast is devoted to what we've learned about New France. In our first segment, Bella and Reed will discuss the early settlement of New France.
Hello, our names are Bella and Reed. In this podcast, we will talk about the role of religion in New France by describing various topics such as education and First Nation religious beliefs. I hope you enjoy. The French colonists went through the St. Lawrence River to Quebec in 1608. The fur trade led to fortune seekers deep in North America. French Jesuit missionaries had a bold impact on the wilderness in hopes of converting Native Americans. By the 1700s, France had claimed an expansive territory that ranged from the Newfoundland into northeast down across the Great Lakes, from Ohio Valley southward along the Mississippi River to the Gulf of Mexico as far west as the Rocky Mountains. That was a lot to say. Thank you, Reed. Yeah. There were profound differences between New England and New France. The England colonies were in a much smaller area. Louis XIV was a Catholic and tolerated no other faiths within the French Empire. Land was less of an issue back in France than England, so French peasants had less economic incentives to leave. Eventually, the sparse French population would be no match for more numerous British colonies such as the war raged on. The English colonies were self-ruled. The English colonists depended on themselves. In the end, despite huge claims to North America lands, the French would be overwhelmed by more numerous self-directed subjects of Britain. Thanks for listening to Bulldog Blast Podcast. Hope you enjoyed. Wear your seatbelt and make sure the toilet's flushed. Goodbye. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Bella and Reed. In our next segment, Leah, Carly, and Michael will portray French explorer Jacques Cartier.
You're listening to the Bulldog Blast Podcast. I'm Leah, and today I'm joined by Carly and Michael. Today we will be Jacques Cartier and talk about his travels.
It is 1534, and Francois I sent me on a voyage of exploration to find two things. One thing I have to find is a shipping route to the Orient to allow French traders to import silk and other fine products to Europe. Also, I have to find precious gems and metals, such as gold, to make France rich.
It has been 3 weeks, and my fleet has arrived in Newfoundland. It is now late July, and to claim my new world, I set up a large cross at the Gas Peninsula. Now, it is 1534. For the past year, I've been exploring the St. Lawrence River. Donnacona told me of a faraway land where I would find gold, silver, and copper.
I went against Donnacona's wishes and passed Donnacona and went as far as Hochelaga. I was supposed to bring Donnacona's son, who I thought to speak French, but he refused to let them accompany me after I went against his wishes. My inability to communicate caused a trip to not be as successful as I thought.
I spent the winter near Donnacona, and most of my 110 crew members got sick with scurvy. But with the help of the Iroquois, all but 25 of my crew survived scurvy. In the spring, I captured Donnacona, his sons, and several other Iroquois to bring back to France so that Donnacona would tell the king his stories of gold and riches so I could explore Canada.
Thanks for listening to the Bulldog Blast Podcast. Stay tuned for our next exciting episode.
Thanks, Leah, Carly, and Michael, or should I say Jacques Cartier. In our final segment today, Tristan and Reese will discuss how religion played a part in the settling of New France.
You are listening to the Bulldog Blast Podcast.
I am Tristan, and I am joined today by Reese. Today we are going to talk about how religion played a part in the settlement of New France.
Christianity played a major role as Europe's major religion.
Martin Luther in Germany, John Calvin in Switzerland, and John Knox in Scotland challenged Roman Catholic churches. They set up different churches and called them Protestants.
Even with the Protestants, France remained a mainly Catholic country. One group that sent missionaries to New France was the Society of Jesus, or the Jesuits.
In 1611, the first Jesuits came to New France. Their goals were to spread the Roman Catholic religion and establish schools for boys.
Then in 1634, the Jesuits took their mission to the Huron, and in 1639 they began the construction of St. Marie among the Huron.
By 1648, there were about 65 priest assistants, servants, and soldiers living in St. Marie among the Huron.
The Iroquois attacked the Huron in 1648.
5 Jesuit priests who worked in Huron villages died. Because of such issues such as these, the Jesuits learned that establishing missions would not be easy. Now we will talk about another religious group called the Ursuline Nuns.
After a number of visions, Mary Martin believed that her destiny as an Ursuline nun was to go to Quebec to convert First Nations people to Christianity.
The Ursulines established schools for girls of the First Nations and for the settlers' daughters.
They taught reading, writing, arithmetic, and homemaking.
It was expected that the graduates would become nuns or wives and mothers.
Some of the original Ursuline buildings are still standing 300 years later.
If it wasn't for the Jesuits and the Ursuline nuns, we wouldn't have religion for schools for both boys and girls.
Thank you for listening to the Bulldog Blast Podcast.
Thank you, Tristan and Reese. This concludes episode 5 of the Bulldog Blast Podcast. We hope you'll tune in for our next episode.